Well, Tom, I'm glad to see it. At least one of the sheep out there has an understanding of the Federal Reserve. But I'm going to be straight with you. It's too little, too late. You know, to me, the American sheep out there really don't care who owns the Federal Reserve, just as long as something like this can still swipe it and give them whatever the hell they want. That's what the sheep is all about. They don't care who makes it. They don't care what happens. You know, today the American sheep are they're more concerned about who's going to win the next Dancing with the Stars, or if their favorite high school football team is going to make the playoffs, or anything like that right now to even care. As far as this election goes, it's not who's going to better govern the country. It's going to be who's going to look better on Oprah. That's the American sheep for you. And you're absolutely right about, you know, this current scam bailout, the so-called scam out, which I should call it. Because this bubble has been coming for a long time. I remembered back in '98, I was warning people then this when they passed these new rules under the Clinton administration at the time and carried over through the Bush administration about these little bubble loans, giving more flexibility to the lenders to get people to borrow more money, you know, just so they can better prop up the economy. Borrowing your way out of debt never helped. It's irresponsible, and it's proven it. And the worst part about it is, I remembered my favorite economic advisor, Peter Schiff, warned his own people a few years ago the same thing, where other investors was telling invest in these little bubble scams because they're the wave of the future, and he's seen it for what it truly was, a recipe for this disaster. But the problem with the American sheep is this bill's going to pass completely, because the American sheep are so badly concerned that this won't work. The little Visa cards, that little Visa card won't work, that they'll give anything. They said 700 billion. Hell, let's make it 1 trillion, just to make sure it's not bad. But see, that's the American sheep for you. They're saying the country needs to get back on a proper track. Like, who cares that we're going to be a communist nation? We're going to make China the envy of the world. Who cares if we're borrowing money off of China? Sooner or later, they're going to cash in their American credit card and buy a nice, neat little Statue of Liberty to go along with it. But the sheep don't care. As long as you keep the sheep happy, as long as they got their Chinese garbage and all that, they don't give a shit. So I've known this for years. And that's one of the reasons I come on YouTube, to share my vast knowledge with the sheep of the world. And yeah, I'm going to get a lot of assholes online that says it's not like this. Bullshit. It's done been. Just like the so-called Obama supporters and McCain supporters out there saying they're for real change. Yeah, right. They'll talk about change and being mavericks and being revolutionaries. But when the day comes, they're business as usual. Trust and believe, if a leopard can't change its spots, neither does a politician. If you got McCain and Obama up there telling what they're going to do and proving they say one thing and prove the opposite. Ask McCain. He was part of the Keenan Five when the banking crisis happened there. Who ended up picking up the tab? You and me. They couldn't even run Congress, their own bank accounts at Congress. So how you think they're going to man the bank accounts for the rest of the world? Hey, as long as it's our money, they don't give a shit. And also, another thing, who's going to benefit from this so-called bailout? People in Capitol Hill. Because most of them, 70 to 80% of the top 10 multi-millionaires had invested in this stuff. So once they approve of the so-called buyout, they're going to get their money back. They'll be back to business as usual. But I do have to give you a heads up, Tom. This is probably one of your best videos. These are the kind of videos I hope you keep producing. Keep up the good work. Good night.